am looking out my window and I see you. And I thought, because we have been inside a lot, I know I have, and let me take my window away, and we've been inside a lot, and we probably have been looking outside of windows. I thought we would do a window story, a really cute story, and a window project. So first I'm going to go over W, because a window starts with W, and then I'll read the story, and then we'll do an art project that has to do with a window. Now, first of all, as I said, window starts with W. And you know what else starts with W? Wind. Wind. Here, let me get you some. Let me show you. Wind. Here's my little fan, and I'm blowing my hair. I've got wind, right? Wind starts with W. And sometimes we go outside and we fly kites. And to fly kites, you need wind. So here's my kite, which does not start with W. But wind that you need to use to fly the kite does start with W. Now W is easy to make, even though it looks hard, because you have to think of those slides that you go up and down. And you start at the top, in this case, and you go down the slide, up the slide, down the slide, up the slide, down the slide, up the slide, down the slide, up the slide. Easy. And as with all the letters that I present to you, I challenge you to try and write them yourself. So, following is the story that I really like a lot. Now, the thing with this book that I have is that someone had taken and erased some of the words to make it apply more to them. A grandma actually did that, because this book is about visiting your grandma and grandpa. So the grandma had erased all the words that said grandma or whatever whatever's in the book, and then put in the word that they use for grandma. And then she also had erased other parts of the book, crazy, but made it apply to her and made it apply to her grandchild. So I had to find the right words and tell you the right words in the story. So I may have stumbled in a couple of places, but I think you'll get the idea. So sit back, enjoy the book, and then I'll see you on the other side. Okay, have fun. The Hello Goodbye Window, written by Norton Juster. He is the author. And Chris Roshka, the illustrator. He's the one who made the pictures. He colored the pictures. The Hello Goodbye Window. Nana and Poppy live in a big house in the middle of town. There's a brick path that goes to the back porch, but before you get there, you pass right by the kitchen window. That's the Hello Goodbye window. It looks like a regular window, but it's not. The kitchen is where Nana and Poppy are most of the time, so you can climb up on the flour barrel and tap the window, then duck down and they won't know who did it. Or you can press your face against the glass and frighten them. If they're not in the kitchen, you can't do any of those things, and you have to wait until next time. If they see you first, they wave and make silly faces. Sometimes Nana peekaboos me, which always makes me laugh. So I get a lot of extra fun and hello before I even get inside. Just look at the kitchen. It's so big. It has a table you can color on and lots of drawers to take stuff out of and play with. But you can't touch anything under the sink. You can get very sick if you do that. There are shelves full of glass jars with lots of everything in them, a step stool so I can wash my hands, and all kinds of pictures from the olden days. Nana says she even used to give me a bath in the sink when I was little. Really? Sometimes Poppy plays his harmonica for me. He can play only one song, Oh Susanna, but he can play it a lot of different ways. He can play it slow or he can play it fast. When I stay over, we have our supper in the kitchen too. And when it's dark outside, we can look at our reflections in the window. It works just like a mirror, except it's not in the bathroom and it looks like we're outside looking in. Poppy says, "What are you doing out there? You come right in and have your dinner." And I say, "But I'm here with you, Poppy." And then he looks at me in his funny way. Sorry. Just before I go to bed, Nana turns off all the lights and we stand by the window and say goodnight to the stars. Do you know how many stars there are? Neither do I, but she knows them all. In the morning, the first place we go is back to the kitchen, and there's the window waiting for us. You can look out and say good morning to the garden or see if it's going to rain or be nice. And if you can see if the dog next door is doing stuff in Nana's flower beds. Oh, she hates that. Sometimes Poppy says in a real loud voice, "Hello, world, what have you got for us today?" Nobody ever answers, but he doesn't care. Poppy makes breakfast. He says it in his specialty. He says it's his specialty. My favorite is breakfast. Oatmeal with bananas and raisins that you can't see because he hides them down inside. I find them all. When I get dressed, I help Nana in the garden. It's a very nice garden, but there's a tiger who lives behind the big bush in the back, so I don't ever go there. Is that really a tiger? I ride my bike too. Not in the street, please. Or collect sticks and acorns. Not in the house, please. Or just kick my ball around sometimes when it's hot. Poppy chases me with the hose and I yell, "Stop it, Poppy, stop it." And when he does, I ask him to do it again. Nana just shakes her head. When I get tired, I come in and take my nap, and nothing happens until I get up. Then sometimes I just sit by the hello, goodbye window and watch. Nana says it's a magic window, and anybody can come along when you least expect it. Tyrannosaurus Rex, he's extinct, so he doesn't come around much. The pizza delivery guy, pepperoni and cheese, he knows that's my favorite. The Queen of England. Nana is English, you know, so the Queen likes to come for tea. They all could come, and a lot more if they want, and if they do, I'll see them first. Mommy and Daddy pick me up after work. I'm glad because I know we're going home, but it makes me sad too because I have to leave Nana and Poppy. You can be happy and sad at the same time, you know. It just happens that way sometimes. When we leave, we always stop at the window to blow kisses goodbye. When you look from the outside, Nana and Poppy's house has lots of windows, but there's only one hello goodbye window, and it's right where you need it. When I get my own house someday, I'm going to have a special hello goodbye window too. By that time, I might be a Nana myself. I don't know who the Poppy will be, but I hope he can play the harmonica. The end. Wasn't that a cute story? I love the idea of looking out and seeing a whole world out there and seeing what people are doing, spying on people. if you have that opportunity. Your window might look over into a yard. Mine looks out into the street, and I want to show you what I see when I look out my window. I see this. I see a big tree right outside my window, and I have a fence here, and I have plants underneath, and I have cars that are parked on the curb there, on the side there. This is a sidewalk, and then here's a street, and I guarantee you there are also cars parked on this side of the street. I didn't draw them. And also there are cars that are always going down the street. So when I look out my window, I can watch the cars. I can count the cars. I can look at the colors of the cars that go by. I can see if they're big cars or small cars. I can also see if people are walking down the sidewalk. There's a whole world out there that I like to watch when I'm in my room looking out the window. And my big tree that gives shade. So here's what I thought we could do. We can make our own. You can make your own windows. I already did another one because I tried it first to show you, and here it is. First you do, here, let me take this piece of paper. You fold your paper in half. That means that this side is exactly the same as this side. You fold it right in half. They're both the same. And then you draw a rectangle. So you have a frame on the outside and then the rectangle on the inside. See, I already poked a hole in here, but you take your pencil and you poke a hole. And the reason why you poke a hole on the inside of the frame is because you want to take your scissors. Now, remember how you hold your scissors. Top goes in the small hole, and the two fingers in the bottom hole, and you always cut away from you. So here you go. You poke the hole with the pencil, and then you might want to ask a parent to help you with this or have them do it. And then we're just doing it in one side, not the other side. You cut along your lines that you drew to make your rectangle, and you cut on the inside. Again, you don't want to go this way because then you'll have it will break the frame. It won't be whole. It will have a cut in it. So you cut it. Let me hold this. You cut it like this. And then you have a frame, right? A frame. Let me put these scissors down. You shouldn't be waving your scissors around like I just did. That's dangerous as well. Now, you can look out your window. First, you have to decide, do you want to do it vertically or horizontally? Maybe this one I'll do vertically because I did the other one horizontally. That one was side to side. This one's going to be up and down. So you then I'm going to take my wind board so I can show you. Then you take your pencil. I would sketch it first so you can, if you make a mistake, you can erase it. And I'm thinking, this one that I did was actually what I see outside my window. This one, I'm going to use my imagination, like the child in the story who saw a cat but pretended it was a tiger, or pretended there was a dinosaur out there. From the imagination, a great place. Wonderful things happen there. So you take your pencil, and I'm going to draw kites because I think it'd be cool to go outside and fly a kite. That's what's coming from my imagination. So I'm drawing a kite, and it's above the tree, and maybe I'll put a little cloud up here. Now, I use watercolors for my picture here. I am going to use markers now. you know, you can use whatever you have. Crayons are great, markers are great, watercolors are great. You can use all of them or just some of them or one of them. So I'm going to do one pink kite. I'm doing this very fast because I want you to do it on your own, and you don't need to see me do it. I hope you take your time and do it. You don't need to be seeing me try to draw holding it up like this. There's my kite string, and I'm going to put some lines there so the kite has some weight on the bottom. Let me do a green one. I'm going to color it in, and not doing a very good job, but nevertheless, it's a kite. And then do the same for the bottom. Let me do a cloud in the sky. Let's do some marks to indicate wind for W, wind, woo, woo, woo. And let's get some green here because my kites are above the tree. That's what I'm seeing from my pretend window here and pretend story. And then, let me put this down. For this one, I took markers and I colored in the frame and then took my watercolors and did it on top of it. You know, let me get this again. I colored this part, right? The window part. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are able to experience the wind and your window, W, right? Down the slide, up the slide, down the slide, up the slide. Wind. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.